Welcome back. It's been about 3 months now since lecturers and other staff of the 68 public polytechnics across Nigeria embarked on an indefinite strike action in protest over a wide range of issues. At the heart of the issues, it says, is the government's refusal to implement an agreement it signed with the various polytechnic unions. This is in addition to poor funding, discrimination against poly graduates, and so much more. And so, for almost 3 months now, the students have been idling away at home, hoping and waiting for the suspension of the strike action so they could all return to school. But then some are beginning to get tired of waiting and are now making their voices already heard by protesting on the streets of Lagos. We caught up with this group of protesting Polytechnic students recently somewhere in Lagos. Listen to what they had to say.
The government to come and to listen to us because it is our right to have free education. It is not a privilege. Yes. It's our demands. We say no to commercialization of education in any ramification. Yes. We say no to underfunding of education system, but to meet with the 26% budgetary allocation as recommended by UNESCO. Yes. We say no to brutalization of students by the Nigerian forces. Yes. We are not at anybody. We are fighting for our own rights. We don't concern about any. They should reconcile with the lecturers. They should come back to classes and lecture us. I'm a final year student of Yabate, and I should be preparing for my NYSC camp now. Yes. I've spent good 5 years in the college doing nothing. Yes. And what a student that went to university for just 4 years will be rated above me in the labor market. We say no to that. Yes. We have the right. We are students. BSc, we are all students. BSc and HND discrimination should end. Yeah.
Now to shed some light on why they are on strike, I'm now being joined on the program by Mr. Austin Oko, the chairman of the Senior Staff Union of Nigerian Polytechnics, SANIP for short. Mr. Oko, thank you very much for coming on the program.
Thank you.
This is, some would say this is one strike too many. Why exactly are you on strike? We keep hearing the word Contis, compass or whatever it is. Why exactly are you on strike?
Thank you, DG. There are a number of issues, and these issues date back to years now. And that's why we are thinking that it's just as you said, one strike too many. It is the only time that we have to fight this fight. If we don't do it now, we don't achieve it, that is just all. The issue of Contis 15 has been on for about 5 years now.
And what exactly is this Contis 15?
Contis is a salary structure, consolidated tertiary institution salary structure.
Oh, I see.
Contis. It moved the salary scale from 14. Before now, we used to have Hattis. So it moved Hattis. Hattis stopped at 14. Now we now have Contis 15, moving it to 15. It came into effect 2007. And then the government did not cash back it until 2009. Up till now, the arrears accruing therefrom has not been paid to workers. What happened was that in 2009, October to be precise, MBTE rolled out a transition modality for implementation of Contis 15, but it only covered those on 12 and above. Contis 12 and above. So what we're now asking, those who are below 12, from 1 to 11, they were not captured. But when they were preparing the budget, all of us were captured.
Okay.
So that is just one. So what we're asking is that the government, both the Office of the Head of Service and MBT, should release the circular for the full implementation of Contis.
There's a question because, you know, we've covered the series of protests you have organized, and this issue of Contis 15 keeps coming up. Tell me, I know Contis 15 is not the only reason you're on strike. I mean, you've also identified other issues. But it appears Contis 15 is the basic reason, it's at the heart of your strike now.
Yes, it is. Yeah, very, very correct. As I said, it's just one of them.
So the issue of discrimination against poly students, the issue of poor funding for polytechnics, and all of that, those are just like, well, those are just add-ons, so to speak. your main issue, if the federal government today decides to implement Contest 15, you're going to come back.
It's not only Contest 15. It's not only Contest 15.
Okay.
There is this agreement that was signed between the unions, between the universities and polytechnics and college education in 2009. They are due for review since last year, 2012. Up till now, the federal government has not constituted the team, the panel, for the review of that agreement. So we are asking that government should do that. The other issue again is IPPIS. We call it, is an introduction by the federal government. IPPIS, Integrated Personnel and Payroll Information System. What that simply means is that they want to be preparing our salaries direct from Abuja. Centralized salary payment.
Before now, what's been the
Before
system?
now, your institution would organize, government will fund, and then you are paid by your institution, from Yabatech, for instance.
So you would prefer that your payroll is
yes,
prepared from Abuja?
Yes, it's better, because
Why?
the issue is that where you have issues of short payment and all that, you find your way to Abuja. And then because of the peculiarity of the polytechnic system, there's this issue of accreditation. Accreditation is a compulsory tax for every institution, whether polytechnic or institution. When the polytechnic MBT or AUC is coming for accreditation, you need to have the personnel, you need to have the facilities, you need to have everything. And so institutions need to prepare towards accreditation, for instance. And so if you are getting your salary from Abuja, it will not be captured. Accreditation will not be captured. So we are saying, no, leave the polytechnics alone, let them do what they are doing. Let us prepare our accreditation and other things that we are doing. Already, the universities have been exempted because of this peculiarities I mentioned. Let the polytechnics be exempted also. The scheme of service which governs the polytechnics, the workers, is 27 years old. It's very obsolete. It has been revised. It's just for the government to approve the new scheme of service. The universities, sir, have their own commission, NUC. Colleges of education have their own commission. Nomadic education have their own commission. Polytechnics have been under the apron stream of MBT. And we have been on this thing over 5 years now. We are asking government to please give us our own commission. The other issue of funding, of course, it may be adjourned, but it's very, very important. Go to our institutions now. See the decadence. Go to the hostels, go to the labs, go to the studios. Everything is in shambles. Unfortunately, rather than...
Why? The question is, why did you have to wait until this time to raise all these issues?
We have been raising it. Every time we go for a meeting, we keep hammering on this, but government is not taking us seriously. And that's why we feel that this is the best time to look at all these issues. You cannot, if the government is taking the polytechnics serious, you cannot be talking about reducing their budgetary allocation. What we have this year is that the budgetary allocation has been reduced. Seriously.
And that the issue of budgetary allocation is one very...
It's one
it's
very,
big
very,
issue,
yes.
because you are saying, for instance, the union has come out to say the universities appear to be getting a huge chunk of the education's budget, and you know, just what is going to the polytechnics, peanuts.
Very significant, very significant, very, very significant. So we're asking that government should please look at that issue. It is very serious if they want the polytechnics to survive. And also this issue of discrimination. We have been on this issue, government keeps saying this and doing another.
The issue of discrimination I need to understand, because I mean, from what I have gathered so far, coming from your organization, your union, it's like you have two levels of discrimination. Discrimination against the lecturers and workers of polytechnics, you know, and then discrimination against the students as well. Could you just expatiate on the discrimination now?
Discrimination, yes, I think the major one really, you have discrimination everywhere, but the one that is most pertinent is this one against our products.
Oh, I see.
The polytechnics
The
produce
churn out.
these people. And then you have, last year we have one of the telecom companies making it clear in the advert that holders of HND should not bother to apply. A bank, one of the first
You're
rated
very
banks.
sure this
Yes,
happened?
yes. One of the banks also advertised last year and put it in the advert that they don't want HND holders. So where do you want them to go to? All of us can't go to the university. The universities have their own mandate. The polytechnics have their own mandate. So what is the government now doing if we cannot sit down and watch our products
so what
being
exactly would
discriminated
you want the
against.
government to do in that regard?
The ceiling, there are two levels now. At the point of appointment, our products are being discriminated against. Sometimes even within the system, those who are working, if I have BA Igbo language or French language, and you have HND, what now happens is that with HND, the ceiling, the promotion ends at a particular level. But with BA, I can get to become the registrar of that institution. But with HND, you can never. So the issue now is that...
Is that a state policy or something?
That's what... it's not supposed to be a state policy, as it were. But this now has been on over time. And we want this thing addressed. Because
no, the reason I'm asking you if it's a state policy, because if it's not a state policy, then the government is not to blame for that.
It's not a state policy, as it were. It is not. What you have is that over time, it has been like that. And government has not paid serious attention to this thing. I was saying this is the right time to look at it. We've been on, as I said. But the issue is that they will tell you HND holder is equivalent to degree.
Sure. And
in practice, that is not what we are seeing. And so you now discover that our products are treated as second-class citizens within the labor market.
And that's quite sad.
And it's not too good. So where do you want them to go? So the implication now is that even if a HND holder is far, far better than a degree holder, he doesn't get anything. So in this era of unemployment and all that, where do our products go to? And so if we keep keeping quiet and all that, then we now discover that we'll keep producing products, graduates, who are not even fit for the market.
But are you not supposed to be producing products who are supposed to create employment, so to speak?
We agree. We really agree.
Because that's actually the mandate.
Yes, we agree. Yeah. But all of us cannot create market. You cannot just finish today and begin to create this thing. Probably you need to get some experience here and there. You need to be employed, gather some experience before setting up somewhere, But when it now gets to you, because anywhere you go, they say you have to have experience and all that, you need to start from somewhere. But with this discrimination that we are having, our products are not getting anywhere. So that is why we are having that fear that, look, if we don't address, and we have been on this issue, but government is just paying lip service to it. They've not really taken it seriously.
For how long are you ready to hold out on this strike? For as long as
I think everything is in the hands of the government. Once they play the game, I think we are not enjoying the strike. Nobody wakes up and says, yes, we are going to go on strike. Even when this strike that we did, we were feeling maybe it was 1 week or two and to be over. But government has not shown enough commitment as far as this strike is concerned. It's just recently, last month, they had a meeting with the Executive Secretary MBTE, who now gave assurance that, yes, they are doing something. The circular and consultation will be ready. Since 2 weeks now, it's not been out. They had meetings also, very fruitful meeting with chairmen of councils, governing councils of all the polytechnics. They were summoned to Abuja with the rectors over this strike. And you could see the seriousness with which the chairman, they went to Aso Rock that same day to report that case to the president. So I think that before long, I want to believe that strike will be...
So what exactly would you be telling your students who are wasting their time away at home, hoping and praying that this issue is resolved? What exactly would you be telling them at this time?
They have to exercise some patience, because the struggle is not just for us as workers, but it's also in their own interest. And we want to appeal. It's quite sad, because for 3 months now, they're supposed to be a semester. It's about 3 months. So they are supposed to have covered or almost covered a semester. And unfortunately, they're at home. We don't like it. But as I said earlier, what we are looking for is the survival and development of the Polytechnic system. And if the government assists to our demands now, we feel that a lot of success will have been achieved.
All right, Mr. Austin Oko, Chairman, Senior Staff
Association.
Oh, it's actually Association. Okay. Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Polytechnics, SANIP, Yaba chapter. Thank you very much for coming on the program.